Well, well, well. Look who's with me. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Hey Jan, I'm good. How are you today or
Good,
what?
good, good. Steve and I together, we're going to mention some random tips that could help you out. Hopefully, help you save some money or a step or two, or at least something to think about. Steve, we'll get right away started with your tip, if you'd be so kind.
Okay, my tip, the first one I have, find ways to increase income from home. Resell stuff you no longer want at a fair price. Well, that's fairly easy. I mean, here we are, a new year. Most people, go through a phase every year, spring cleaning. But that's not saying you can't go ahead a few months in advance or whatever. Go through your home, where you're living, and look and see if you have any stuff that is of no value to you. You're not using it. It's just maybe gathering dust, or you're not. It's not actively being used by you. So consider taking it and selling it, and you know sell it at a fair price. If you're not sure about what to list it at, there's an easy solution to that. I did it before. I do it now whenever I go to put something up for sale. Go over to eBay. Yes, I said that, and I'm not trying to sponsor them, but go over to them and then type in what you have, and then there should be a place where you can click on a filter. Go to completed items. The little tab will slide over and you hit, search or see result. And it'll give you a breakdown of how much that item has sold for. And then that'll give you an idea, oh, okay, I could sell it for this amount, that amount, you know. That's if somebody's not really in the know of prices. Always use that as a guide.
That's
Um,
wonderful. That's a great way to, gauge it. I like that tip.
yeah, so
Very
that's
good.
that's what I would do.
Absolutely. All right. Very excellent. Okay. This one sounds so basic, but it's the truth, particularly for homeowners. Take shorter showers, even just by 5 minutes less time in the shower per day, per person. Multiply that by 31 days out of the month. We're talking over 150 minutes per month saved per person. At the end of the month, when you get your water bill or whenever you get it, you will see a significant difference in the water bill and in the heating bill as well.
Yeah, I usually whenever I take a shower, um, I'll run the water, I'll get the temperature as to what I want, and then I'll get in it. One of the first things I'll do is I'll wet down. I'll get wet. I'll wash my hair, I'll wash my face, and then usually I've got a washcloth, and I put my body wash, or if I have a bar of soap, I'll put that. And I will literally soak down from basically right here down. And once I do that, I'll rinse off and I'll get out. I can take a shower in about 10 minutes.
Right. And ignore that saying on the back of the shampoo bottle about rinse, lather, repeat, rinse, lather, repeat.
No, all you got to do is, get your hair wet and wash one time. Why are we, well, rinse, lather, repeat. Yeah, you want to be careful, because if you're not careful and somebody takes that as surface meaning, you could be there all day in the shower washing your hair. I'm trying to be a little funny here, but that right. That they need. Sometimes I think they need to reword that, because some
Yeah.
people will take that the wrong way. Just being honest.
You have another tip, Steve?
Yes, I do. The next one, my second, be sure to include funding for entertainment each month. Keep a reasonable amount on the side for after all essential bills are paid. Well,
Hmm.
these days, entertainment is not like what it was when I was a preteen, or even a young teenager. It's not what it was. Now, if you want to watch a movie, you've got so many different streaming apps. You've got Amazon Prime Video. You've got other places you can go and watch a movie. Tubi. You've got Roku Channel. That's just to name a couple. There's places Cinema HD. That's another app that I like to use. You actually have your video store right under your nose, and people don't really realize it. You could just type in what you're trying to find, and look it up. If you have a Amazon Fire Stick, you can hit the Alexa button, speak the movie or the series that you want. It'll come up. It'll tell you where it's located. Most of the time, you can just go right over to it and watch it. Um, Video games. It's not like it was when I was a kid. Video arcades is kind of like a thing of the past now, where you play, a game at an actual machine where you put money in. Now you can do it all right from your television.
That's right.
So, but the only real place of entertainment I could think of today would be like a sporting event. Anybody that likes to go to those, baseball, basketball,
Or
football,
play,
um,
live theater, something like that.
right, a symphony or theater.
Museum, lots of other places.
Museum,
But
yeah, museum is a
yeah,
nice one. I didn't think about that one. Right, yeah,
yeah, but it's good to hold. Like I like that you also included the freebie. Well, not quite freebie, with the streaming options. Some of the streaming options, yes, but you also included the fact that to hold a little something because you just don't know, or if you just want to meet your friends and take a walk out for coffee. Not that that's something you do all the time. I'm just saying, like
right,
it's
right.
there.
Yeah.
Like mad crazy money, as I refer it to, mad crazy money.
Here's a good one. I was just mentioning this to you a few minutes back.
Sure.
I mean, I've pretty much been. I'm in Florida, and I've been to pretty much all of the uh, attractions you can go to. I've been to SeaWorld, although my dad says I went there, but I don't have a strong recollection of it. Disney World, I went there. Busch Gardens, Silver Springs with the glass bottom boats. I've pretty much done all of those. The only thing I haven't done, and some people look at me funny, oh, but you're a grown up. Well, who's to say that grown ups can't like them too? Honestly, I want to go to Legoland. I
There
haven't been.
you go.
I haven't been. That's the only tourist thing I haven't, or attraction I haven't been to. St.
Nothing
Augustine,
wrong with that.
right? St. Augustine, an hour from me, 55 minutes by car. You can, if you know the story behind St. Augustine, you can always look it up online. They have these little trolleys. They have these little things you can go into. Ripley's Believe It or Not, the Fountain of Youth. There's a lot of stuff there that you can, you know, but you can get on the trolley. It doesn't cost anything, and you ride around, and they show you the old way back, and a person's talking to you, giving you the history of it as you're moving along. So that's not too bad. If you've never been to St. Augustine, if you ever travel to Florida, that's a good one to, especially if you want to know the old Ponce de Leon.
That's really nice. Get that little historical background
Right,
to
right,
go with
yeah.
it.
Hmm.
That's really nice, Steve.
Hmm.
On my end, here's the next one for me. Now, price of eggs lately, as of this recording in January of 2025, are insane at
Yeah,
this moment.
they are.
Hopefully, that'll be rectified. There are too many reasons, too many possibilities why, without getting into it. But this is really important, in my opinion, Steve. Find ways to use eggs as an actual meal as opposed to a hidden ingredient in a recipe. I've
Yeah,
said this in the past, but right now it's even more relevant. For example, instead of making cakes and pies that require any eggs in the recipe, find an alternative measure, like using baking powder as a rising agent or yeast, things that don't require. Some cakes need 4 eggs. Well, according to their recipe, I've gotten away with maybe 3 eggs on a 4 egg
I
recipe.
can see that. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So find
four
ways.
eggs.
I'd rather make a meal with eggs, like egg salad or
Yeah,
omelet. You see where I'm going with that?
I think 4 eggs in a cake recipe is awful steep. I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
why.
that's for those that want to make maybe like a triple layer cake type thing.
Is that what it? Because usually whenever I've gone to make a cake in the past, it's only asked for 2 eggs, maybe
Yes,
3.
there are some that are three, and actually there are some that are four. That's for the ginormous. But with the price of eggs at the current moment, in my honest, four eggs would just, I mean, find
Mm,
alternatives, in my opinion, is a great thing.
yeah, that sounds a little overboard actually, but um, I myself, speaking of eggs, yeah, I whenever I buy eggs, yeah, I make actual eggs with it. Eggs over medium, scrambled. I'll put a piece of toast with it. I'll actually make because I feel like this. If I have a dozen eggs in my refrigerator, I've got food. Honestly,
Absolutely.
you know, and it was, I don't know about now, it was the cheapest form of protein at one time that you could buy.
I mean, it's still a great value, not to use that two words together, but
Yeah.
it's still a good value. Like you get the dozen and divide it up. But like when certain prices are crazy. So just try to find alternatives. I have this thing I want to mention. It's a good thing. Just want to throw this in. The frozen peppers with the onion in a frozen bag at
Sure.
the grocery store?
Mhm.
Like I wanted a high protein meal that didn't break the bank and was quick. So I made peppers and egg and put it on a sandwich. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Scramble with that. You get so many meals from that.
Yeah. Oh, that pepper and onion that you're talking about is really good. I think Bird's Eye makes it.
Yeah. Even the store brand, I got the store brand was really good.
I've actually um, I've actually done sausage and peppers in the past with that.
Yes, me
Um,
too. And sausage, peppers, potatoes, with that mix, it's really quite good.
but it does work good in an omelet if you want to make like a little bit of a veggie omelet. I guess if you wanted to throw a little bit of ground meat in with it to make like a
Yeah.
ground beef veggie omelet, that would be good. But no, I don't use eggs to put it use it as an ingredient. In fact, I had to step away to the store. I could not find eggs, and I wasn't going to pay 6 plus a dozen. So I got a 16-ounce container of liquid egg substitute, which is like their brand of egg beater. It does 10 servings. Okay, so that's basically a dozen lacking 2 eggs. So I've bought it in the past. It's very good. If you know what you're doing, you can make liquid eggs taste just like a rig. From what I understand, it's the same thing.
It is very convenient for omelets, that's for sure.
Yeah. So
And some people are having issues with egg availability at the time of this recording.
recording,
So
that's
it's
true.
good to keep those liquid ones, just in case.
Yeah.
All right. Did you have another
I
tips?
have one other one. The third one that I have is remember that tiny changes bring on results, big results, in fact.
Truth.
Example, cutting back on sugary soda saves money over time. Now, I've spoken about this before, and I'll gladly re emphasize I have no problem because I myself, I had to make a change in my eating and drinking habits. March 29th, 2004, I stopped drinking soda. I gave it up. I slowly had to wean myself away from it because for a while there, for about a week, 10 days, I had to have something a little bit flavored because I was trying to move away from the soda, which I did. Um, Soda is not good. Phosphoric acid, high fructose corn syrup, more corn syrup, sugar. One can of Coke, RC, Pepsi, store brand soda, that might even be more than the other one, is about 40 grams of sugar per can. Think about something. One one teaspoon of sugar is 4 grams. So
Wow.
how would you feel that you're drinking something that's got 13 teaspoons of sugar in it?
Scared. That's
That's
how I would
one.
feel.
Then you got the phosphoric acid on top of that. That's a calcium depleter.
Right.
The caramel color's not that great for you either.
Right.
And then all that high fructose corn syrup, which is a weight inhibitor, add that in. And then if you really want to add fuel to the fire, diet sodas, which is even worse for you than a regular soda. So the thing I'm basically referring to here, get away from soda. I have this right here. It is so worth it. It's called Spindrift. All it is carbonated water with strawberry and peach juice squirted down in there,
Yum.
and that's it. 13 calories per can.
Wow. You can't go wrong with that.
No, you do pay a little bit. You do pay a little bit out of pocket for it, but I would rather pay the money for this than what you would pay for the soda that's toxic for you.
And the future healthcare risk you'd be paying for. So, yeah. No, you're really bringing up great points there. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, on my end, okay, low income means this. Let's talk about low income, folks. Okay. Lower income means really going over any way possible to find ways to stretch your budget. So that includes inexpensive foods that can yield you a ton of food. Like they start off inexpensively, simple ingredient recipes. You don't have to make an elaborate thing with recipes. It doesn't have to be that way. I do say invest a little bit in spices and seasoning to dress up your food. That way you don't feel deprived. You could change
Yeah.
around your flavor of your meats and your potatoes and stuff like that, and your chicken. Soups and stews you can make plentiful, bountiful, and share it all week long. It's a great place to start. Pantry salad. Steve and I went to great lengths. We've done videos all together just about making salads from our pantry. Chickpeas, artichokes, mushroom, things in cans that you could keep. Peas and beans you could keep. You could do so much. We have to just be a little bit creative. Dollar store peanut butter or store brand peanut butter is just as filling and protein filled as the more expensive one. Don't worry about the label. When you're hungry, you got your kids, you got to get the protein in them. Go for the store brand. We can't be store brand snobs when we're lower income trying to make ends meet. Does that make sense, Steve?
Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. Well, you know, feel free to go back and check out a video that I just did not that long ago, within the last 3 days, I think. Um, that had to do with the dollar store, things that you should and shouldn't buy. Because most people, please understand, not everything at the dollar store is a deal. Some is. And something that was pointed out to me by a subscriber, that the packaging is shrinking, which is correct. Yeah, things have gotten smaller.
That's true.
But there are a few things here and there that you can make out on. You just have to, you really have to know your pricing, though. That's really the
Shop
big.
with great intention. Take advantage of the Flips app, like you mentioned on your. You know what, Steve? We should include that video that you just mentioned in my description.
Description. All right.
So
I
yeah,
can see
yeah.
it.
Well, Steve, I want to thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate your time. Don't forget to head on over to
You're
the
welcome.
Everywhere with Steve Young 74 channel. His channel is a random channel. Doesn't only and always talk about budgeting. There are so many other things in life, but check out his channel. It's a lot of fun. Many times I go on his show too, usually on the weekend.
Yep.
Thanks again, Steve. And thank you,
You're welcome.
everybody, for being here. Don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. Now, listen, I'm going to try to end the show. If the show does not cut off quickly, you could leave the show without waiting and waiting, because
Yeah.
sometimes I have difficulty with this software. Not my fault, their fault.
Yep.
Just saying. Thanks again, Steve. Anything
You're
else you
welcome.
want to add before we go? I forgot.
No, just I pretty much summed up, what
Well, I
really.
loved your tips. Really, really great. Very
Yeah.
useful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Take good care, everyone. Going to try for it. 1, 2, 3. Hope it cuts off.